All right. Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you're having a great day out there. Listen, I'm so excited about this morning. We have a special guest joining us. And then at the end, I want you to hang around to the end, okay? After we're going to do a few things for the men and women that have been in different branches of the military. We're going to talk about that a little bit later as we celebrate this weekend and what it's all about. So hang till the end. It might be a little bit longer today, but we have a special treat. Well, I can't take any credit for it. It's all on Coach Myra Miles. But Coach, I'm going to kind of turn it to you this morning on this great Friday. And before you do the announcement, I've actually got the picture that you sent me yesterday. So if it's okay if I could screen share that, if you don't, you just let me know.
I got a plan for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I've already been in touch with Anthony this morning.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna turn it. Hey, we're thinking alike. I'm gonna turn it to you then.
Okay. Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm gonna cut to the chase very quickly. This young man that I've got coming on here there's not enough time for me to just even talk about him. What he has overcome, number one, physically, to be to the point that he is at, is phenomenal. This young man, you better learn his name today, and you can say when you watch him playing in the NFL next year and down the road that you first saw and met this young man. He has been dear to me, he and his sister both, but I have so much respect for this young man. Ant, if you'll put his picture up first, I want to show you. This guy's making the front page of magazines, as you'll see. But we're very fortunate. Thank you, Nate. You can take that down now. Very fortunate to have Trey Smith with us today. He's just solid. He's a class act. Trey, I hope you're on here. Go ahead and pop in here. I think you are. If you can get on the camera now. His sister I see is on, but great young man. And I asked him to be on today because of the things that he is a great ambassador for us at the University of Tennessee. And for what's going on in the world right now, I asked Trey to come on, and I want y'all to hear his perspective on things. And I think you're going to fall in love with this young man just because he is solid as a rock and he is pure class 100%. So, Trey, are you on here, buddy? I see Ashley on. Yep, there you are. Take it away, bud. Thank you so much for being on today.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
How you guys doing this morning? Everyone all right?
Yeah.
So I guess if we were talking about the state of the world right now, you could say it's a little bit upsetting compared to regular American life. We have a pandemic going on. Sports is canceled. Everyday life is not how we usually see it. And then now you have a couple of social issues going on right now, which is the ugly head of racism in this country. And unfortunately, it's something we've been dealing with for a very long time in this country. And it's something that hasn't just gone away. And when you see the riots and things happening, it's sort of a culmination of built up energy that just hasn't been able to get out, if that makes sense. I remember learning in school thinking that, during the 60s civil rights era, a lot of the things that we grew up as hate towards a certain ethnic group, that was over in my mind growing up. And it took these past couple of years, and it took my dad reminding me at certain occasions and times that, no, it's still evident. It's just not out in the open anymore. And, and I think right now, the only way as a group of people together that we can change this is through good dialogue, listening to one another, understanding one another, and having love in our hearts for the common brother and man that lives in America. But these are issues that still go on, and we must address these issues. My dad was reminding me of stories when I was little One of my best friends was a Caucasian girl, and I went to Walmart and I saw her, and I got excited, and we wanted to play around the aisles and stuff. And her grandfather comes up to me and calls me the N-word and tells her to get away from me, you know? And this is 2003. This is not that long ago. We're still dealing with these issues. And I remember even going back to school, she separated away from me. We were never really friends anymore. But, it's not about that right now, because it's about moving forward. It's about us coming together as a people, understanding each other. A lot of times I feel like I judge people way too fast, and that's being transparent. Like a lot of times I look at someone and I think they act a certain way, think they think a certain way, and that's not right. You should never judge a person by how they look on the outside, by how they dress, by how they come across. You must judge them by who they are and the content of their character. And I think if America just sort of sits back and we sort of acknowledge, hey, there is an issue, we're going to address this issue, we can move together, we can move forward. But until we start judging people based on their character and who they are as a person, rather than their outward appearance, we cannot make any progress. But it starts in listening to each other, acknowledging each other, and loving each other.
Trey, just real quickly, can you hear me, hon?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Just real quickly, kind of give everybody a background of just kind of some things that you've overcome. You were at high school in Jackson, Tennessee, at a private school. It was a predominantly all-white school, and the things that you encountered there, and then kind of fast forward. And I just would like for you to share with this group of people, because they're very dear to me, as you are, about what all you have overcome health-wise and your belief in the good Lord above and all of that.
Absolutely. Okay, so I went to a small private school called the University School of Jackson. And before I go into it, I want to say I do love that high school. I had great experiences. I'll go back to it today in a heartbeat. But just a frank reality is it was a predominantly white school. And, when I was growing up, it was probably me and one other black kid. So it was rough a lot of times. A lot of times you hear stereotypical comments. You hear them say certain things. You even hear racial slurs. And if you react to it, you're called off as sensitive. You overreacted. I remember getting called the N-word in high school at lunch and just having to sit there and basically take it, and if I would have reacted, it would have been well for me. But that's sort of the stark reality of being there. Still love that high school, just being honest with you. A lot of great memories, a lot of good people there, a lot of good Christian people that helped me out in my life. I know when my mom died, there was actually a prayer group of mothers that came and helped me out throughout my high school career as well. But focusing away from that to my college career, my freshman year, I made freshman All-American. I was an All-SEC player my freshman year. And, I was basically at the top of the world. It doesn't get much better for that, for what I wanted to accomplish coming into college. And then near the end of my freshman year, probably around January, I was diagnosed with pulmonary embolisms in my lungs, which is basically blood clots in both sides of my lungs. I went from being able to finish all workouts with ease to passing out, not being able to do a sit-up or lift a weight. And, it was a reality shock for me, just knowing that, as a young athlete and you're around your 19-year-old, your 20s, you think you can do anything. You think you're almost invincible. And it was a reality check. And I believe it was a reality check from God to understand that my glory is all from him. It's not me out there doing that. It's God doing that, because God brought me through. The next year, I ended up coming back. I had only a week of practice in camp, still started at left tackle. I go about 7 games down the road, and we just played University of Alabama, and we're having our practice that next week. And I was having breathing issues. I couldn't really catch my breath. I'm coughing and stuff. I'm wheezing. My trainer tells me, hey, just take another day. We'll see if it persists. Go another day, same issues. They take me to the hospital, and they say I have pulmonary embolisms again. Same diagnosis, everything. So at that point, I'm crushed. Not really knowing my future, not knowing what God has in store. Sorry about that. They like to drag race down this road, but not knowing what's really in my future, what God really has planned for me. And there was a turning point. I remember I was in the hospital and I was just praying, thinking, God, I know you didn't bring me this far for this. My mom died when I was 15. I had to get to college. On top of that, I had blood clots after my freshman year, after the best year of football in my life. I came back from that episode, and now it's my sophomore year. I get diagnosed with the same thing, and I'm sitting there crying in my hospital bed thinking, this is not over. This is not it. God's got more planned. I remember the end of the year, that sophomore year when I got re-diagnosed, I sat down in Coach Pruitt's office, and my sister and my dad were beside me, and we were going over plans that what happens practically when I leave the football program, what's my next steps. And I remember sitting on this couch crying. I'm like, Coach, this is not it. I go, I don't know why. I don't know why I feel this way. God has told me this is not it. And I believe it and I trust it. And Coach Pruitt backed me 100%. He said, son, if that's how you feel, you're not going to change anything. You're going to go to workouts every day. You're going to keep training, keep practicing just like you were going to play. And, last year, stuck to the method for about 7 months, just worked my butt off every day, doing everything I could do, eating right, losing weight. And then all of a sudden, I played this season, and I was able to play a full season as well. Did a lot of things that people did not expect. The whole season, I didn't practice physically. I had 2 contact practices the whole year based on my regimen I'm doing. So I was able to play, but it's all by the grace of God, and I understand that. It's not me out there doing that. It's God empowering me.
Trey, just to wrap it up, honey, what's the last thing you would love to leave with this group about what can we all do to help, as you say, and that we should move forward at this point?
I think just showing people you care. I think showing all people you care, just practicing good Christian values. And if you have conversations with people, you see someone distressed, just get to know them, console them, and understand them. I think right now what we're dealing with is a lack of understanding on both sides and a built-up frustration that's coming out. If we just come together and finally understand each other, acknowledge our issues, we'll be fine. So I think the last thing I want to leave y'all with is just acknowledgement and understanding.
Trey, thank you so much for getting up with us. And Trey is also part of a culture committee that I'm blessed to be a part of, that Coach T. Martin has spearheaded for us. And anyway, Trey, thank you so much for getting up this morning. And I don't know if you've already had workouts, or no, y'all are off today, I believe. So, but appreciate your time, buddy. And I will see you Monday.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Now, Coach, I'm going to kick it back over to you here, and just let me wrap up with Trey and just say, y'all, what you just saw with this young man is exactly who he is. And I thought his message was very powerful. It was on point. And I just appreciate him taking the time to be on with us this morning. And as we're getting ready to go into this segment right now, Coach, that you're going to kick off, I just want to say personally, a very special thank you to every single person, not only that's on our call this morning, that served in the armed services or are currently involved in some capacity. I thank you all so very much. It's just, it's going to be an amazing 4th of July.
Wow. Coach, thank you so much. Thanks, Trey. If you're still here, thank you so much for coming on. So many times in the world, we'll handle a lot of conversations, but we don't want to handle the tough ones. We don't want to handle the ones that are tough or uncomfortable to talk about. And I thank you for sharing your heart with us this morning, and good luck in the future. I know I'll be watching you and keeping up with you, and powerful word this morning. Understanding, educate, all things we talked about this week, really. Trey summed it up today. So thank you so much. And it really leads us in, I think, perfectly to this great nation's birthday. We're all one. We're all men. We're all women. We all live in this great land called the United States of America. And we all stand on the shoulders of men and women across this world that have served our military. And a lot of times they've been misunderstood for what they've had to do. Or a lot of times we don't take the time to understand what they've been through, nor could we. And this weekend, I pray that I take time to reflect and thank everyone I see, as I should do every day, for serving our great country. And so at this time, I know we have people tuning in, and I know Andrea and Anthony can help me with this, but I would just like, if you've served our military, maybe if you can say your name, where you're from, what branch of military, and what years you served, just so we could put it in perspective. And stay on unmuted for just a second so I could, if there's anything I need to ask you. But we just want to acknowledge you this morning, and I'll talk more when you finish. So if you will, let's start with Bill Saling out of Missouri, because I know that's a great starting point. So, Bill, you're unmuted right now.
Yeah, I am. And I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak for me and others who have offered up a chance to lose their life for what we call as freedoms, the very things that your young man spoke about today. I served from 69 to 72. I was in Vietnam. I spent a year as a drill sergeant, which may explain to you some of my characteristics. And I'm proud to be an American. And I wore my T-shirt today to show one of the greatest days of my life was last fall, when I was honored to be able to go to Washington, D.C. and see the monuments. And that's a thing that all of us need to remember, that these monuments are special to people because they've seen people die for them and what they represent. And thank you so much for you and the young man who spoke today, because I had the honor of serving with many just like him who didn't make it back home.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you for your service. And just so you know, our company that we're very proud to be a part of, Bill and Sue Saling, they provide honor flights with the shirt that he's wearing. That's one of our give back programs to people that has served this country. So thank you so much, Bill. We love you. Thank you for your service. All right, next, raise your hand. I could go. I know some of you, but I'm going to go to Horace. Horace?
Yes. I was in the 509th Artillery Army from 56 to 59. I was lucky. I didn't get to go to Vietnam, and I didn't get to go to Korea.
Horace, thank you so much for your service. And I see you wear your branch very proudly. And we stand on your shoulders. Thank you so much for what you've done.
You're welcome.
Let's go to Mr. Starling Jones.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
I started out in the Air Force in 1966, served for 22 years. You name a country, I just about been. I was in aircraft maintenance, and I was in a lot of different units. But I enjoyed my time in service, and I'm enjoying the benefits of it now. And I would like to say thank you for everyone that served, no matter what branch. Thank you for letting me be on, and God bless.
Starling Jones, thank you so much for your service. God bless you. God
Thank you.
bless you. Andy Craig.
Yes, sir. Andy Craig, United States Army, 94 to 96. Artillery is what I was in.
Awesome, sir. Thank you for your service. Where do you live right now?
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yes,
I know
sir.
that, but I want everyone else to know that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I knew you knew that one.
Yes,
But
yes.
you're welcome.
Thank you for your service. God bless you. Who's up?
Shane Griffin, Navy, 1990-2011.
Shane, thank you for your service. God bless you. Where are you located, Shane?
Sedona area, Arizona, with my wife, Eva Marie.
Eva Marie. Yes. Thank you so much for your service. Again, God bless.
Thank you.
I'm looking for hands, but if you can unmute yourself.
And Andrew Jackson, United States Marine Corps, retired. Yeah, from 1980 to 2010, I served in the Afghanistan, Iraq, Desert Storm, and 9/11. I thank everybody, the men and women that's come before me and after me. Because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here today. So hats off to them.
Congratulations, sir. Thank you. This gets me because we stand on your shoulders. Thank you. Anyone else? I'm trying to hold it together. I'm really a softie, just so you know, really a softie. Anyone else? That's enough. So, Coach, anything you want to add?
No, the only addition is I'm just blessed to be a part of this community. I look forward to this community each and every day, and I love the fact that we're growing more and more. So I hope everybody has a wonderful day and a absolutely blessed 4th. And if you're traveling, safe travels to you and your family. I love you all.
Yes. Again, thank you so much, Trey Smith. Thank you for everyone. And God bless you. And God bless this country, the great states. Have a great weekend. Love you guys.